Hello, Jim Hodges here, 2J. 2J's an American Bulldog, 10 months of age. He's here with us for our residency program. Been a good boy. He's a puppy, 10 months of age, already this big. We need to take control. We need to be his leader. He's already demonstrating a few dominant behaviors that aren't going to be a problem as long as we step up and we control what we do with him and he understands that we lead. So how do we do that? We never give him a command. We never ask him to do something unless we mean it, okay? He's got to do what we ask him to do, so you have to be in a position to make him do it. If he does something right one time, he's going to do it over and over again, and we're going to praise him and reward him for it. If he does something wrong, we've got to bite him. We've got to provide a correction. We've got to do whatever it takes to let him know we're not happy. And then as soon as we end that sequence, we come back and praise the correct behavior at the end of it, okay? The only other thing about 2J is he shows to be very timid. I think we agreed, we thought it was primarily people and dogs, although I have seen some objects he's afraid of and gets terrified of them when he doesn't know what they are. We need to work real hard in the next 3, 6 months to a year trying to expose him under obedience, under leadership to these things. I tell you what, if you walk up, and I've got a bandsaw out in the barn that we saw this on, if you walk up and you're not aware that he's afraid of something, because I wasn't really aware he was afraid of objects, he hit the ground and he started turning, trying to run away. 100 pounds, he was pulling me, okay? So we can't have that happen with you. So you're going to have to start being aware of your surroundings and things and understand that if it's something he's fearful of, that he needs to start to learn that they're not going to hurt him because you're the leader, you got his back, he's safe with you, and start to introduce him to as many of these things as we can. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that when we work again. Okay? Very important. He's never, ever going to grow out of it. I hate to say that, but it's a firm part of who 2J is, so we have to manage it and get it to a point that he feels more comfortable than you do. When he is afraid, do not say, poor baby, and start loving and feeling sorry for him. It doesn't work. It only reinforces that fear. He's going to be more likely to be fearful again. You tell him to get over it. If he can't get over it, well, you might not try to embrace it full force, but you start backing off and letting him see that that object at 6 feet is not going to get him. Okay? So now on to obedience. When he does what we ask him, we praise him. We praise him in the moment. We give him a command. He does it. We praise. We always praise with words and touch. Good boy and pet. Can we use treats? Yes. I believe we don't use treats 24/7, but we can use treats when we want to reward him, on leash or off leash. Okay? But when we do give a treat, we always pet, good words, good touch again. When he does something wrong, at least in the obedience phase where we have a leash on him, it's words and touch again. We tap the leash, okay? And we're not here to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, or hurt him, so we're not here to overcorrect him and bully him. But we tap the leash, tell him no, and then praise him when he does what we ask. And you know all about that, and you're going to see. I think you understand that our bite is nothing to intimidate, okay? Even a small dog. So without further ado, we're going to start obedience. Let's go is our walking command. He walks with us by our side. He doesn't walk out in front of us. He walks right here with us. It allows us to be in control of the walk. We decide how fast we want to walk, and he has to adapt to it. Yes, you may be walking him, but it's your walk. Never forget that. And when you're walking, he's walking beside you, not into you. That's a little dominant trait. Take it away and tap the leash away from him or walk through him. Pull that leg up and knock through him. By golly, that's what he's doing to you when he's walking. He's knocking into your leg, saying, this is my space. We're going to put it on our side. When he starts walking the way we want, what are we going to do? Praise. That's for anything. Sleeping on the floor, we praise him if we like what's going on. Any calm behavior that we like, we praise. We praise at least 20 times more during the day than we consequence. We want him to want to engage and be with us and want to be a part of us, okay? So let's go. So watch him. With you, he was tapping into the leg. If he starts to do it with me, watch what I'm going to do. Now, when we're walking, we don't always walk, see, right there, although we were turning. We want to walk and change directions, especially in the beginning, to teach him how to focus on us. Good boy. Attaboy. Sit. Hand signal for sit. Good boy. Now on the let's go, when we were walking, if he started going away or getting out in front of us, we tapped the leash. We would go, let's go, and we tap the leash in the direction we go. Watch what I'm doing. Tap. We don't pull. When we pull, we do the work for him. He learns nothing. When we tap, we make him think about what's happening. I told him to sit. Good boy. He has to stay in that sit until I release him, okay? He's in a sit. If he started to get up, we'd step in, sit, and then good boy again on the back end. Let's go. Attaboy. Come on. Sit. Good. Down. Hand signal from the down. He's in a down. One of the things 2J likes to do is to smell the ground, especially from the down. I personally don't like it. I believe it's a sign of disrespect. Maybe it's not, but I feel like it is. He should be paying attention to what we're doing. If I put him in a down and stay, walk away from him, yeah, smell the ground. But when we're working, he needs to be concentrating on what we're going to ask him to do next. Good boy. He looked at it, he thought about it, but he didn't. So I'm going to praise him when he's downing like I want him to. This was down from the side. If he didn't do it, I'd have tapped the leash towards the ground. Let's go. Down. Doesn't have to be from a sit. It can be while he's standing as well. Good boy. Sit. Good. Now from the front, down. Good. A little slow there. That's the down signal from in front. If we told him to down and he didn't do it, we'd step up and we'd tap the leash towards the ground. It'd be no, down, and then good boy. Good boy, 2J. Let's go. Okay, so he's doing good. You want to try to motivate him or something like that? Get a treat. He doesn't know you got the treat. Sit. Attaboy. Give him the treat. Open hand, pet, love. Attaboy. That's a good boy. He's still in the sit though. Even though I give him a treat, I didn't put him in another command and I didn't release him, okay? He doesn't see what's going on. Now I'm going to do the COME command. Cats, I know you hear the cats in the background. That's not going to stop me from doing what he needs to do. If he doesn't pay attention to me when I'm asking him to do something and we're in obedience, I will bite him, okay? Because he needs to listen to the leader, okay? Come. Come, he comes, he sits. Attaboy, good. So on leash, he comes. If he didn't come, no, no. See how I'm tapping the leash? No, come. Good boy. So when I tap the leash, that's just like with the movement command. Let's go. Attaboy. Off leash, when we ask him to come, that's real hard. I have people call me every day. We don't tell him to come off leash unless we know he's going to come. Jim, how do you do that? Well, what you do is you make sure he's hungry, you make sure you've got a toy or something that would turn him on, and he's out there, and you say, 2J, hey, when he starts to commit, come. Good. So when I said 2J, break. If he just looked at me and ignored me and walked on, he did not disobey a command. But if I said 2J and stepped back and he started coming, what's happening? His mindset is to come to me. So when he starts to come, I'm going to say, come. And when he gets to me, I'm going to give him a treat, say, attaboy. Break. You see how that works? I go over this in the booklet, but we have to do that. Unfortunately, we need to do that all of our life. So we never tell him right now to come unless we know he's going to come. If we're not sure he's going to come, we're going to set it up like I did. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, 100, 200, 300. Every opportunity that you can do that, fine, because hopefully at the time that you really need him, he's going to be ready to come to you, okay? It's just a matter of conditioning. When he does come to you like that, off leash, you never punish him for something he's doing. You never take him and put him up and you leave. he's always got to think the result of that come is something great. It could be the treat, it could just be love, could be a toy. But it needs to be something great, that there's nothing detrimental or distrustworthy, if that's such a word, of coming to you, okay? Let's go. Next thing is the place command. Place. Place is a bed command. Don't always use it outside. In fact, rarely do we use it outside, but it is an inside tool. We talked about how we're going to do this at your door for when guests come over. We put him in a place. Cats have been on this bed. He can lay down, sit down, stand up, smell it, do anything he wants as long as he doesn't start chewing the bed, and he stays there. He can do this for a couple of hours at a time, okay? 2J was one of these real whiny dogs, and why did he whine? Because he got rewarded for it. I hate to say that. It's really, the whine is still there, but it's really dropping off, okay? If he was to start to step off that bed right now and walk off that way or this way, I would treat it as a movement. No, 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 place, okay? So although he's irking me smelling, now, no, no, place. I bid him for stepping off. Did you see the back foot? If not, replay it and you'll see what was going on. Good boy. He can have a toy there if you like, a chew bone, whatever you want. He just has to stay there, okay? When we were talking about having people come over, I'm telling you, as soon as somebody comes in that front door the very first time, he's going to pop off. But we work him through that. Every time, after I work with a dog, when they go home, they go right back to doing what they used to do. My job is to make sure he understands obedience and then let him see that you understand what the rules are and you plan to apply them, okay? There's only been one perfect being to ever walk this earth. Was it you or was it me? Was it him? We all know who that is. Let's go. All right, now, when I got to the end of that leash, if he hadn't have come with me, movement, tap, it would have been, no, let's go. Good boy. So many people want to do this. Let's go. When they tap that leash and say, let's go, they're teaching the dog that there's a physical command. It's not. The physical part is only after he does or fails to do the command that you ask him to do. Does that make sense? So I say, let's go. If he didn't do it, I'd tap it. So that'd be the physical. Let's go. He did it. I'm going to praise him. Again, the physical. I hope that makes sense. So now we've done lay down, sit down, stand up, place command. We talked about the stay. He's got to stay in the stay command as long as you need him to. Now we'll do the heel command. Sit. The heel command basically is a command where he's right beside us, and his job is to stay in an imaginary box beside us. Stays right there. I don't care if we step off or whatever, he needs to follow us and try to keep his head right here. When we stop, he should sit, okay? It's nothing more than a glorified let's go. The only difference is between the let's go and the heel is it's a little more strict where he's at, and when we stop, he has to sit. Let's give it a shot. Hand signal's going to be like this in case you don't see it. Heel. I step off, he turns, see how he goes right back to my side? We stop. No, sit. He was getting ready to, but he was doing it too slow. Remember what I said, if he made a mistake, we're going to repeat it. So, heel. Good boy. Heel. No, heel. Why did he do that? He was trying to look at me. Heel. Good. Heel. Good boy. So we make it work. You notice I didn't go for a mile in between commands. He'd already made a mistake. So what I was going to do is concentrate on that mistake. Mistake maybe wasn't even him. It could have been me for teaching him the wrong way. But we're going to try to get him where we want him to be, if that makes sense. Let's go. Hear the tone of my voice. When I'm trying to encourage him, I'm trying to motivate him in my voice. Let's go. Sit. Whoa, sorry about that. Okay. Down. A little stronger inflection. And then, no. Sounds like that. Good boy. I actually cheated right there. I told him good before his butt hit the ground. He could have stopped right then, and I would have rewarded him for not finishing the command. Let's go. Last thing is the Hump Command or Load Up Command. It's a great command to teach him to load up. I already know he gets on your furniture. We'll talk about that in a second, but I like to teach the command. Sit. Good. Load up. Notice how, good boy. Notice how I made him sit before he loaded up? Break. My dogs, I open up the car, they would just go pounding in if I didn't make them sit first because they're so excited about riding. You're in a situation with him as big as he is, he's climbing up on furniture, you're starting a family, things like that. I really would not allow him to get on furniture unless you give him a command to. He needs to understand his places on the ground. I've given you some tips on how to start preparing for you, your child, and him. Anybody out there in the world wants some of those tips, feel free to give me a call or email me. I'll share some with you. I think we've got it down. 2J's a good guy. You've got to stay on top of him. You've got to work this obedience. Ideally, the first 30 to 45 days, 4 to 6 weeks, you need to try to at least work with him 10-15 minute stretch at a time. That doesn't include the place or the downstay. And any other time for 5 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, it's important to try to do things in real life because that's where we want to migrate. That he obeys and does the things that you want him in real life. People come to your house, he's not entitled to meet him and people aren't entitled to meet him. He's not entitled to meet them and people aren't entitled to meet him, okay? We have to be under control. If he's a little fearful, the strongest thing you can do is have him on a place and on a leash, or have him on a leash by you. Let those people come in. First minute, he doesn't have to meet. Let everybody settle down. Let him feel a little comfortable. If you feel like he's getting a little bit better, he can meet. If you don't feel like that, then what you do is maybe you walk over and sit a little closer to him. See how he responds with it. Praise him when he makes that, okay? We teach in steps. You know you can always pick up the phone and call me if you have a question. Already told you that as long as I'm living and he's around, you want a follow-up lesson, there's never a charge. You just pick up the phone, call me. We'll do anything that we've been doing thus far to help you and make you feel good about what's going. He's not a hard dog. He just has some certain things like all of us have that we have to work on. I wish you much success. My number is 336-945-3232. Of course, my website's Jim Hodges Dog Training. Email sales@Jim Hodges Dog Training. And my Facebook page is Jim Hodges Dog Training if you type it in the search bar. Thank you so much. Any questions, let me know. Take care. Pray. Good boy.